Good morning, Yankees universe. Welcome back to another episode of the Yankees Morning Brew on this Tuesday, April 23rd. Like always, I'm your guy, Hector, hanging out with my compadre this morning. I got my guy, Mr. TC Stills. And all you Yankee fans, wake up and get your coffee. TC, how you feeling this morning, big fella?
I got mixed feelings this morning. I'm
mixed emotions.
I'm good, but when it comes to the Yankees, I'm very frustrated. I'm very frustrated, as all you Yankee fans should be, because this team is really, it's driving me crazy. But on a happier note, how about them Knicks, huh? 2-0.
How about the Knicks? How about the Knicks? And with the way that the Yankees have been playing, honestly, I really didn't want to do the show this morning, but I'm here because I have a contract. I'm contractually obligated to do these shows. If not, so will whoop my ass in the morning. But shout out to the chat. Let's do a little bit of the roll call. Yeah. He is looking at me right now in his camera. Shout out to my guy, Nathan Ramachandra. Nathan, how you doing? Salute to you.
What's up, brother?
My guy, FL Diver's in the building. FL Diver, how you doing?
That's
Javier Velez is in the building. Good morning, Javier. Anthony Medina, mi hermano de la Islas, in the building. Anthony,
did you get to meet Medina at the event?
Of course I saw Medina. That's my guy. Erica Garcia is in the chat. My friend Erica. Erica, good morning. How you doing? Salute to you. Who else we got in the building? Of course, we got my guy, Big Lou, is in the building. Lou, salute to you. Good morning. Michael is in the building. My guy, Michael Caputo, is in the building. Norman Soto is in the building. And shout out to the one and only Mr. Big Time Jerry. How you doing? Eddie Snap, salute to you. So, Yankee fans, we got like 30, almost 50 people in the building right now. If you guys can, while you guys are coming in, please hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. On the bottom part of your screen, you see like a little emoji screen right there with hearts and stuff. If you can, just smack that. Just smack that repeatedly for me. It helps us out with the algorithm. YouTube is doing something different now. They're trying to take over the marketplace, you know, since TikTok is going to get shut down. But let's get into the conversation. Wow. New York Yankees lost the first game to the Oakland Athletics out of it's the best out of 4, right? So we got 3 games left.
4-game series.
Oakland. We 4-game series. Sorry about that. So we got 3 games left for Oakland, and we got to go in there. We got to win those games. We can't split this series with Oakland. Granted, this Oakland A's team is a lot different than last year. The New York Yankees, we are in second place in the AL East. We got to, bars on the ground, but second place in the AL East. We got to switch things up. But before we talk about Volpe, before we talk about Judge, before we talk about Carlos Rodon, shout out to Carlos Rodon for a great start. Before we talk about that, we got to talk about the man, the legend, the myth, Mr. Aaron Boone, getting ejected for not even saying anything. Shout out to that fan who was saying some stuff, some uncensored, uncolored stuff to the umpire, which got Boone tossed
colorful
out.
Language.
Boonie immediately snitched on him. Was like, I didn't say that. It was him. He said something. So that was a fun back and forth. What was your thoughts on that, TC? Before we get into the game?
Yeah, I mean, Boone had every right. I mean, he was checking whether it was a check swing or no, he got hit, right? He got hit, and they wanted to check if he swung. But Boone every right to question, and then out of the blue, here's this guy chirping in the back, with his remarks, and the umpire right away, he can't determine whose voice. I mean, come on, you know Aaron Boone. Come on, you know what he sounds like, and he tosses Boone from. I mean, come on. Yeah. I mean, are all fans going to do that now? Like, if you sit behind home plate, just start yelling and try to get your manager thrown out?
No, not just that, right? And of course, that fan, we got to point out to that fan, but this has been going on.
Did the fan get booted?
No, the fan didn't get booted.
No, the fan's okay. Okay.
No, the fan's good. But this has been going on, Aaron Boone's relationship with the umpires for the past 5 years. Ever since like the savages in the box comment, Brett Gardner banging the top of the dugout. Right. That was 5 years ago. First of all, time flies, because it literally felt like it was yesterday. But that was 5 years ago. Yeah. You guys don't think that the umpires, they remember this stuff? You guys don't think these umpires They look out for one another. They look out for their co-workers. They look out for their brother in arms when it comes to the umpire fraternity that's going on. There's a reason why Aaron Boone, over the past 5 years, he's been tossed more than any other manager in Major League Baseball.
Some like 35 times already.
Some may say it's unwarranted, but when you look at it, it is a glaring issue. Not only do the New York Yankees, they have to go up against the Oakland Athletics or the Houston Astros. They also got to go against the umpires. How many times this season so far? And granted, am I trying to find an excuse for these hitters that are struggling? Absolutely. I'm trying to find some silver lining. I'm trying to find article. I'm just ripping shit out my ass. But when you look at it, proof is in the pudding. Over the past 5 years, Aaron Boone, he has been tossed more than any other manager in Major League Baseball. And it all correlates back to the Savages in the box moment where Brett Gardner started banging on the top of the dugout. When it happened in the moment, as a fan, in the moment, I was like, I'm here for this, baby. This is blockbuster. This is what I want my New York Yankees to be. But after it happened, in the back of my head, I'm like, what's going to be the repercussions? What's going to be the long-term effect of this? And we're seeing the long-term effect right now. Go ahead, TC. I'm sorry. I was a bit long-winded. Go ahead, my guy.
No, every right to be. I mean, okay, so he's got thrown out this many times. He has reason. These umpires are they're not good. I mean, I would say 75% of the time they're not that good. So
keep talking. I'm gonna pull up the umpire scorecard from yesterday's game. So keep talking while I do that. Go ahead, TC.
Yeah, I mean, whether it be balls and strikes or even check swings and it calls, they really need to implement the automatic strike zone. They really do. I mean, I'm not talking about bringing in robots, but at least something where they can wear it and they can call a strike. It's got to be more consistent because it's getting really ridiculous. And then for an umpire to throw a manager out, whether it's when it's a fan, I mean, come on, you're just going to right away throw them out. You're not going to hear them out and say, hey, that wasn't me. It was a fan. I mean, these umpires, they think they're part of the game. They think they're actual players, and they're not. We're not here to see umpires. So stop having these egos. Don't get me started on Angel Hernandez. That guy shouldn't even be umpiring. And I saw some highlights of when Bryce Harper check swing, and he just right away says enough's enough. I mean, these umpires got to be held accountable, and they need to be written up and suspended or help. Something needs to happen. They never come after the game and have interviews. They're never accountable for anything they do, and it's too bad. It's just bad for the game.
No, I'm right there with you. I got my friend Erica backstage. I'm going to bring her up right after I read this. But you guys know how I like to take a deep dive into the umpire scorecards. And I brought up when I first started doing this at the beginning of the season. This is something me and TC did dating back to last year. But I told you guys at the beginning of the season, MLB, they want their umpires to be at a 95% when it comes to their accuracy with these balls and strike calls. Last night or yesterday's game, Hunter Wenderstad, he was 88.9% accurate, below MLB standards. He had 16 incorrect calls in last night's game. Ever since the beginning of the season, Hunter Wenderstad, TC, you know how many times he's been at the 95% accuracy that MLB wants for all of their umpires? Take a guess. He's umpired 5 games from behind the backstop. Can you guess how many games he has had 95% accuracy? Folks in the chat, let me know. Go ahead, TC. How many games?
0. I'll say 0.
One game so far this season, and that one game he was 95.5%, literally at the standard Major League Baseball wants for their umpires. That is ridiculous. It is 2024. For some reason, we can have AI software that can write movie scripts, that can write movie trailers, but for some dumbass reason, we can't have umpires who can call balls and strike accurately. And when it comes to Angel Hernandez, it's more It's not the fact that he gets the calls wrong. It's the fact his stupid ass face after he gets the call wrong, like trying to justify him getting the call
what
wrong.
What are you
like,
gonna do about
it? It happened. It is what it is. But I'm gonna bring my friend Erica up. Erica, let me get a thumbs up. Let me know you're ready to rock out with us. So let me just switch this real quick. Let me put the 3 cam. Let me bring up Erica. Erica, my friend, you hear us complaining. You hear the conversation. So I'm gonna throw it over to you. What do you make of these umpires and all this bogusness that's going on? Go ahead, Erica, before we get into the actual game.
I mean, we've been saying it forever now, right? They just need to be held accountable, and there's no accountability with the umpires, and that's what's making them feel like they're godlike, right? That they can do whatever. I mean, the guy had NASA ears. Like it was not even the first couple pitches and he wanted to start trouble, you know? It's annoying. I've said it before. I mean, if it's not taking the umpire out of taking the manager out of the game, they're taking bats out of hitters' hands with the way that they call balls and strikes. I don't know how you fix this. They're unionized, so they're protected like all hell, and it sucks. And really, I mean, the game has evolved so much. You don't necessarily need umpires. We kind of keep it because it's, we love like the beauty of baseball and that, there's that human element to it, but really they're not needed. We're at a time where we have the technology where their job is obsolete. Let's be real. So, we could continue to complain, but I don't know if anything gets done. And you guys saw how he backpedaled yesterday. I don't know if you guys saw after he got interviewed and he was backpedaling on anything. He's like, oh, well, even if it's not Aaron, it's somebody in the dugout. So it's Aaron, like he's going to be the one that's held accountable for it. And
he's accountable, but not you.
Yeah, exactly. Or I like it was. I don't have everything. I don't know if you could pull it up or something, but there's a whole quote, and it's just egregious. Really, it's a joke, and it makes you see how they don't give a shit. It's just like all right, people will get over this next game. Like
it's because it's like both, like you and TC both said, they're not held accountable. They don't have to talk to the reporters after every game. They don't have to get quoted by the reporters after every game. The fans hardly even see them when they're exiting the ballpark after every game. So when it comes down to it, if they had the fire under them, right, the same way that the players do when it comes to the media, if they just had just a little bit of accountability, we'll be having a different conversation. It'll be a different day and age. But somebody put it on Twitter, umpire scorecards. When it comes to Hunter Renderstad, so far this season, I said it, 95% is what MLB wants as umpires. He is at 89% so far this season. He is at a below 5.5 expected accuracy. That cannot be okay. Listen, I worked for years as an EMT, and I tell you this like that. I had 65 as a normal passing score for like regular school. As an EMT to take my state exam, I had to score over an 80. Not below an 80. I had to score at an 8, and I had to recertify every 2.5 to 3 years. So if I had to do that as an EMT, what the fuck is the protocol for the umpires? Are they recertifying every 2 years? Do they have to recertify? Do they have to take an eye exam after every 2 years? Because I know once your license is about to expire, you have to go back into the DMV and you got to take an eye exam test all over again if you have eye problems like I do. So do these umpires, do they have to take eye exams after every year going into every season? What's the protocol? Me as a fan, as a frustrated fan, that's the only thing I want to know. And I think it's fair that we ask, like, just tell us what's the ins and outs. How do you hire these guys? What's the process? Just let us know. Go ahead, TC, and then throw it over to Erica, and let's just jump into the game afterwards.
Well, I want to know. Okay, so they keep these scorecards. So what's the point if nothing's going to be done? I mean,
that's not sense. The scorecards aren't from MLB. That's an independent outside.
Okay. So it has nothing to do with the discipline or anything.
It has nothing to do with MLB.
Now
this is a whole ridiculous. Outside.
MLB
is a whole outside thing.
The umpires need to have a scorecard, and they need to be held accountable for what they do. And then if they 3-4 consecutive games of under 95%, they're not umpiring behind the plate. That something needs to happen. It's getting out of control, and I don't know. I'm just fed up with it because nothing. It's 2024, like you said. What's going on here? We're in an age where this can all be fixed in a second.
Yep. Go ahead, Erica.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have much else to add except that dude umpiring yesterday, Hunter, I forget his last name. I know you mentioned it a couple of times.
Wendelstedt.
Wendelstedt has his own umpiring school. And if
That's
that's any
crazy.
yeah, there's a picture of him like teaching these up and coming
Gotta
umpires.
be 80%.
And I'm just like, dang, dude, like if this is this is our future, I guess, unless they decide to completely go robo ump. But yeah, this guy has a school. So we're in great hands.
Yeah.
Oh God! This is the quote that Erica was referencing to, and then we're going to jump right into Aaron Judge and his struggles. But this is from Brian Holtz. Shout out to my friend Brian Holtz. We was able to have him on the show during the off season. Great job. But Brian says this is from Hunter Wendelstedt. Apparently, what he said was there was a fan right above the dugout. This isn't my first ejection. In the entirety of my career, I have never ejected a player or a manager for something a fan has said. I understand that's going to be part of the story or something like that because that's what Aaron is going to portray. I heard something come from the far end of the dugout. Had nothing to do with his area, but he's the manager of the Yankees, so he's the one to go. So basically, the umpire is saying, I'm petty. Somebody hurt my feelings, and I'm going to look at you, and I'm going to eject you because my fifis got hurt because I'm a grown-ass man that's literally at the age of being able to get my Social Security check in the mail, but I'm still going to have my fifis in a bunch and eject Aaron Boone. Yeah, you can't make this shit up. You literally can't make this shit up. You can't make it up. So let's jump into the next conversation that's driving all of us Yankee fans a bit crazy. What is going on with Aaron Judge on the season so far? Aaron Judge is hitting 174. That batting average, it keeps dropping the same way my weight is dropping. But Aaron Judge, he has 3 home runs, 11 RBIs, a 645 OPS. That is disgusting. Max Goodman on Twitter put it out there with his strikeout to end the game. An unexpiring 2-0 loss to the Athletics. Aaron Judge is now 3 for his last 28, a 107 batting average in his last 7 games. He also has 16 strikeouts. TC, I'm going to throw it over to you. What the fuck is going on with Aaron Judge? And then throw it over to Erica. Go ahead, TC.
I don't know. We had this talk, I think, last week, and we were trying to calm
everybody down. We have this talk every episode so far. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, we were trying to calm everyone down. Like, I'm not panicking yet. I'm starting to panic. I'm starting to be concerned because he's not getting better. He looks awful. He looks completely lost at the plate. He's as if he took over Giancarlo Stanton's style. Like he's now him. Like he does. It's like he's guessing. He's behind 0-2 every at bat. I mean, he just looks at balls right down the plate, swings at that outside slider. I mean, they got him fooled on everything. I mean, it's not just those low strikes. You know, I could understand the umpires are calling the low. He's missing every pitch that should be hit. And Juan Soto is in front of you. And should be like he should be thriving. This should be like one of his best seasons. And I mean, I know it's a slow start because of, injured in spring training. That set aside, that's not it now. So something else has to be wrong. I don't know if he's injured, if the toes bother him, the obliques bothering him, something. I mean, he needs glasses. He just looks awful. I mean, it's very, very bad. And it's kind of like rolling over to the rest of the team. I mean, when Judge doesn't do anything, nobody does anything. And this team is reverting back to last year. It's very frustrating to watch. I can't stand watching them not put up any runs on the Oakland A's, a AAA team. Wasting a Carlos Rodon, masterpiece, gives up 1 hit, and they can't scratch any runs across. That goes on Aaron Boone as well, because they're just not there. They got to find ways to score. And we're talking about this since the beginning of the season, that they cannot just rely on home runs. They got to push runs across. And 2 games in the last week, they lost 2-0 to Tampa and 2-0 to Oakland. Same exact way. They can't push 1 run across. and they get beat late in the game. And I don't know. I really don't know with Aaron Judge right now. I'm kind of lost for words. It's really bad to see.
We're not even out of the first month of the season, and so far the New York Yankees, we got shut out 4 times so far.
4 times.
Let me throw it over to Erica, but before I do, I want to shout out the chat. Shout out my guy Chris N from Yankees Pod in the building. Chris, how you doing? Salute to you. My guy Acevedo, salute to you. Jacob Petruzzi's in the building. My guy Jacob, I had a great time running into Jacob on Saturday. Samantha T is in the building. Samantha T says, I don't know what is wrong with him, but this is why I'm so against these huge long-term contracts. It often comes back to bite you in a you know what. Absolutely. My guy Joey C is in the building. Joe, how you doing? Damian Serrano, the fly guy. Dame, how you doing, Damian? I hope all is well. I got one more that I want to shout out. My friend Anna Marie in the chat says, Anna Marie says, swear jar Hector, but I do understand the F-bomb for Aaron Judge. Erica, I'll throw it over to you so you could drop some F-bombs about Aaron Judge also. Go ahead, E.
I'm not gonna drop any F-bombs, but maybe one F-bomb, and the F is for freaking out. Yes, I'm starting to freak out, man. I know that I've said it, and the thing is, like, you know, he can go on a 10-game hitting streak and you know, shut us all up, but we keep saying we kind of keep giving the benefit of the doubt. Like, I'm tired of waiting. I'm tired of having this conversation every week, every day on Twitter. Someone's like, this is the game that Judge is going to break out. The game happens, another 2 strikeouts, another double play. I mean, look, he hit into another double play yesterday. And at first you can say, hey, at least he's seeing the ball well. He's working walks. Well, guess what? He's not working walks anymore. It looks really bad, right? And now because he's not working walks, they're attacking him. There's 90-mile-an-hour meatballs. The kid Miller is astounding yesterday, the game. But he threw him 3 meatball hangers in the middle of the plate yesterday, and he fouled everyone off. 92-mile-an-hour fastballs up and in. He should be turning on them and crushing them. He's not doing that. So I'm just wondering, like, listen, I know that the toe, people are saying it's not the toe. You can't use the toe because he came back from it last season and he was able to do really well. But why is it that Aaron Judge is saying that the toe is never going to be what it was, right? So it's obviously there is something there. Even if it might not be lingering now, it can come up again in the future. The oblique. What is, again, remember what they called it? Spring training beat up? What is that, right?
Yeah.
Like, what are we masking? And I don't know. There's just too much confidence on him turning it around when really there's nothing that I'm seeing right now, now that the walks are gone, that tells me that anything's going to be turned around anytime soon. And it's really bad because you need him to produce. You know, now your Volpes are cold. Soto has a bad game yesterday. You know, and then Stanton's cooling off. Rizzo looks kind of questionable out there too. You got to be the guy. You're the captain. You're making the money. And, you know, I understand people go through slumps, but you got to pick it up. You got to be held accountable. You can't have post-game interviews where you're smirking and talking about it's a long season. It is a long season. We understand that. But in the AL East, it's a short season. You have to win the games that you're supposed to win. I've said it countless times.
Can't lose to Oakland.
And now look, we're in second place. This is what happens.
I got a video that I want to play. Shout out to my guy Keith McPherson. I ran into him when I was at the Yankee game on Saturday. Afterwards, we chopped it up and was talking Yankees and Knicks basketball for a minute also because I was getting ready to go for the Knicks watch along. But he shared the video on Twitter this morning, or the Elon Musk machine, whatever the kids call it nowadays, with the Castro brothers who are big on TikTok. Hold on, let me share this real quick. Just give me 1 second. And it's a difference between Aaron Judge's swing from this season and the season he hit 62 home runs. So let's look at that real quick, and I'll come right back to give my take on it. So here's a video, and we'll be right back. Oh, wait. Technology is crazy. I'm trying to share the video, you know. Just give me a second. My apologies. You know, TikTok, you feel me? Okay. Okay. There it is. Bingo, bango. He was just. This is awkward now. It's not playing.
Need the Jeopardy music.
Well, anywho, so never mind. So it was a video breaking down the difference between Aaron Judge's swing from 2022 to 2024 this year. The sum of the video was there seems to be something, or there must be something physically wrong with Aaron Judge, right? Erica, you brought up the point how they said spring training beat up. I don't know what that language means. I'm not sure how am I supposed to interpret spring training beat up or anything like that. But when you look at Aaron Judge, he is getting beat on the fastball on the inside. It's either one, he is physically compromised when it comes to some type of injury, or two, this man aged so fast this offseason, he can't catch up to a 95, 96 mile per hour fastball in the inside of the strike zone, something he used to do on the regular over the past few years. So something physically has to be wrong. Is it the toe? I'm not sure, because he did hit close to 40 home runs after missing a month and a half, 2 months of the season, when he did come back after that toe. But the oblique could be a problem. The oblique is a very weird injury to deal with. I've ruptured my oblique, and it took about 3 to 4 months for it to properly heal. So for a baseball player that is going out there every day swinging, I know he's not resting his oblique and healing it properly. So he's probably dealing with an oblique issue right now. Is it an excuse? No, it's not an excuse. If he's injured, he definitely needs to let the team know, because you're hurting the team now. Not only are you compromising yourself for the future of your career in this season, but you're hurting the team because everybody else is struggling. I got another stat that I want to bring up real quick pertaining to the Yankees hitting. When you look at it, Aaron Judge is struggling. Anthony Rizzo at the moment is struggling, right? Anthony Volpe at the moment. We'll get into Anthony Volpe, but Anthony Volpe as well is struggling. It's not only Aaron Judge, but when Aaron Judge is the captain, when Aaron Judge only has 3 home runs so far this season, when the team loses, who is the first person that's going to take blame for that? Aaron Judge is going to take blame for that. Anthony Volpe's not going to take blame for that. Rizzo's not going to take blame for that. Trevino's not. Nobody's going to take blame for that but Aaron Judge. Is it unfair? It may be just a little bit unfair, but it's a part of the job. You're the captain of the New York Yankees. It all comes with the territory. Anytime Aaron Judge, he gets booed, I always throw it back to 2004 when Derek Jeter was in his biggest slump of his career, 0 for 30 or 0 for something like that. Derek Jeter got booed by Yankee fans. So if Derek Jeter got booed by Yankee fans, if Mariano Rivera got booed by Yankee fans, I don't care what your name is, you could get booed by Yankee fans. Mickey Mantle used to get booed by Yankee fans. So I don't want to care about, I don't want to hear about Yankee fans are being too hard on Aaron Judge. TC, what's your thoughts? And throw it over to Erica to get her take as well.
Yeah, it's unfortunate when you're not performing in New York, you're going to get booed. I mean, it doesn't matter who you are. I mean, the biggest names, like you said, Mickey Mantle, Reggie Jackson. I mean, you know, all these guys. I mean, these guys.
Joe Namath got booed by the Jet fans, and he won a championship with them.
Exactly. You know, you got to perform, and at this point, Aaron Judge has been a complete disappointment in the first 23 games. It's been awful. Like we have high expectations as Yankee fans. You know, with Juan Soto and Verdugo, and this lineup's all changed up, and Volpe's hot, and all of a sudden, when we have these terrible losses, it's magnified because now the spotlight's on. Let's see who's not performing. Well, the captain, Aaron Judge, looks awful. If we win these games, we kind of put it aside. It's all right. He'll come back. You know, he'll get it together. When you start racking up these losses, embarrassing losses. These are 2 embarrassing losses in the last week. Getting shut out by Tampa and by Oakland. Wasting great pitching performances, like I said. It's awful. And I have to say, it's got to be the oblique. He's definitely, you know, taking it easy. Maybe he's not swinging as harder, as faster. That's why he's not catching up to these pitches. There's something wrong. And I just hope we don't see, like, in a couple days, you know, Aaron Judge is now on the 15-day IL. I mean, that's what I see. That's what I see happening, because this is gone on long enough, and I don't see any change. So he's dealing with something. You just don't lose your hitting ability overnight. Basically, that's what it looks like. Yeah.
Just for context, Aaron Judge, like I said, 3 for his last 28, a 107 batting average. Anthony Volpe, 3 for his last 29, a 103 batting average. Anthony Rizzo is 3 for his last 26, a 115 batting average. Gleyber Torres is 6 for his last 30, but Gleyber Torres has a higher batting average than the rest of them. He is hitting 140. Go ahead, Erica.
That's crazy. I think I did see that stat, but I didn't put 2 and 2 together because we're over here hooting and hollering about our boy Gleyber Torres.
Gleyber's hot. He's hitting 140 in his last few games. Go ahead, E.
Yeah. I mean, about the boos, people get so caught up in that as if we're booing them because like we hate them or like we we want them out of town. We're not the crazy. I mean, there are some people out there that are talking about DFAing him and putting him down to AAA. I mean, those people are crazy. He's still Aaron Judge at the end of the day at his core. But no, you're booing him because you have different expectations for him. I know he's done so much in the last 7 years, and 100 at bats. You can't all of a sudden turn on him like that. But dude, there's expectations that come along with those contracts, and I'm sorry, you're getting booed because we're disappointed. We're like the parents. They're like, we're not mad at you. We're just disappointed. You're supposed to, you know what I'm saying? I'm just telling you, if Judge was hitting in a couple of these losses, they would have been wins because they were such tight games, such great performances by our pitchers. So that all it takes is one swing where it can get us right back into it with a guy on base. Rather than a double play, you get 2 runs off of his power bat. It changes the whole trajectory of a game. And that's why we boo, because we know what's there. We know what can happen. We know we have seen, right? And now it's not happening. It's like, dude, either something's wrong or, I mean, no, obviously something's wrong, but like, just what is it? Like, what is it? We're just tired. I'm booing because I'm tired. Just tired of waiting. Again, just tired of today's the day. Nope, not today. Today's the day. Nope, not today. So it's like, when is today? And hopefully it is today, but I don't see it. I really don't.
No, I hopefully it is today, right? But I'm right there with you, Erica. I haven't seen anything from this team to give me hope that, besides Juan Soto, that's the only hope I have in the lineup. Besides him and Oswaldo Cabrera, everybody else is donuts right now. But if your team is struggling, right, and you need to inject some life into the lineup, in the 8th inning yesterday's game, you had the perfect opportunity. Verdugo gets on to lead off the inning. Jose Trevino lay down the sack bunt, move the runner from first into second with 0 outs. You got 1 out with runner in scoring position. Oswaldo Cabrera is a beast so far, hitting over 300 with runners in scoring position this season. Give him an opportunity. Give Volpe an opportunity to drive in a run, but you don't. You settle for the double play, and now the rally's dead. Oswaldo can't get on base. It's a microcosm of everything that could go wrong this season. Javier in the chat says, fans say that they can't boo their team. F that. We have every right to boo our own team. Absolutely. Anna Marie says The Rock was able to endure Rocky should die chants in the WWF. Anna Marie, you were hitting it right on the head. My friend Samantha T says the problem is that when you are at an exponentially high rate, people would expect you to continue that. He's under a huge spotlight. Yeah, and being in New York City for the New York Yankees, it doesn't make the spotlight anymore less bright or the pressure anymore less heavier. Jacob Petruzzi said, heck, also remember, he's a slow starter. He did this the last 2 years for the last 2 years. Yes, to a degree, but then no, this is worse than his last 2 starts. And I get it. He missed some spring training games. I think it was 10 games he missed. So if you want to say 10 games, 2 at-bats each game, 3 at-bats each game, that's 10 to 20 at-bats that he's missing. We're almost done with the first month of the season. He's gotten those 20 to 30 at-bats that he missed from spring training. He's gotten those already. So what else are we waiting for when it comes to Aaron Judge? Like, it's the conversation that can never die. Like Erica says, we have this conversation every day on Twitter, on the Twitter Spaces. Today's the day that Judge is going to break out. Jimmy Randazzo, if Judge hits a home run today, you guys will get a shirt if you retweet this tweet. Shout out to my guy, Jimmy Randazzo. But this is the conversation we keep on having every day. Hopefully, he's good. I know we lost first place in the AL East. Baltimore leapfrogged us, but we're still winning. We're at a better record this year than we had last year. It's still a long season, so Yankee fans, don't panic. Don't hit that reset button. Let's get into the next topic. Before we get into Anthony Volpe, I want to just cheer things up a little bit and talk about some good stuff from yesterday's game. And the good thing was Carlos Rodon. Mr. Los, Carlos Rodon, 7 innings, Hold on. I have a stat line right here. Let me read it for you guys. His official stat line: 7 innings, 1 hit, no runs, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts on the day. 92 pitches. He had an amazing start. His record on the season: 1-1 with a 2.70 ERA. Erica, I'll throw it over to you. What was your thoughts on Carlos Rodon and his amazing start from yesterday's game? Granted, the Yankees, they spoiled it. They weren't able to get him a win, but good signs from Los. What's your thoughts, E?
Yeah, he's been better than I think everyone was expecting. I know a lot of people had this as a turnaround year. I think, like you said before, the bar was on the ground from last season, so it was only going up. But he had a great outing. There was a lot of people, not a lot of people, there were some people making reference to like, oh, it's the A's, like their offense is not all that, that he was missing pitches. But I say it, during spring training, when he had good outings, he was having people pop up a lot, and that was what the A's were doing. Maybe he's not the 98-mile-an-hour fastball pitcher all game and going for strikeouts all game, but if you're creating soft contact that gets you outs, then really that's all that matters. And the 2 walks that he had yesterday were hit batters, right? He was working on that breaking ball in, and it kept getting in on the toes of these batters. So really, he shouldn't have had no walks. If anything, I think he had great command yesterday. I just don't think he's that strikeout overpowering pitcher anymore. And if you see, he starts the games off at like 94, sits at a 94-mile-an-hour fastball, and then he makes his way up to 97. So I'm starting to think that he picks and chooses when to really use that power fastball, and he's kind of just pitching like a little bit smarter, not just kind of going out there and just throwing anything up there. So I think there is still room to improve with him, but from what we've seen up until now, I mean, 7 innings. You know, he was going 5 innings because he was giving up a lot of free passes with the walks. For him to go 7 innings is huge, and really, if he continues to get better, and when Garrett Cole comes back, that's a nasty 1-2 punch. I think it's what we really expected. And then you add Luis Gil there. Again, I know he's innings limited, but at least for the first half of the season, or at least whatever we get out of him, Cole, and Rodon, it's a really good 1-2-3 rotation.
Yeah, definitely. And listen, the one question mark that Yankee fans had going into the season was the starting rotation, right? And so far, the starting rotation hasn't let us down this season. It's been the lineup, it's been the offense, it's been the big boppers in the middle of that lineup that haven't been able to produce. But Carlos Rodon has been phenomenal so far. Marcus Stroman has been awesome. Nestor Cortez, Clark Smith, and you said it, Luis Gil. I didn't think I was going to see this out of Luis Gil. Shout out to that young man because he is impressive. Go ahead, TC.
Yeah, I mean it's been great to see. The pitching has really carried this team. I mean, we wouldn't be 15-8 without this pitching staff. And that was the question mark. We all said it right at the beginning. And we thought, you know, the hitting, oh, the lineup's revamped. We got Soto, we got Verdugo, we got, you know, Volpe here and this and that. And it's been a total disaster so far. So hats off to all the pitching, especially Carlos Rodon. Yesterday was fantastic. I mean, he pitched smarter, like Erica said. I mean, he had 92 pitches in 7 innings. Would he have 92 in 3 or 4 innings against Toronto? I mean, that's where he was just throwing. Now he was pitching. He was pitching to soft contact. You can't always strike out everybody. So he was a little more accurate. It was ahead of the hitters. I guess I get it. It's Oakland, but still, it's a major league team. And you still got to get through those teams. I mean, the schedule is what it is. So, hats off to him, and he looked great.
I got 2 notes that I want to read, both from Twitter. Shout out to Chris Kreisner from The Athletic, Chris K. But he put this out. For the first time as a Yankee, and this is surprising, Carlos Rodon pitched 7 innings in any game. That was the first time as a Yankee since signing a contract he pitched 7 innings for the team. And it's the first time Carlos Rodon pitched 7 innings since August 23rd of 2022. That right there. Shout out to Los. I want to see more of that, but that's a bit surprising stat right there. When you look at the evolution of Carlos Rodon this season, it's because of that cutter. My guy Joey Randazzo, not Jimmy Randazzo, Joe Randazzo on Twitter, he put it out there. The results are precisely what the Yankees are looking for with a guy they have locked down for the next few years. Rodon has thrown his cutter almost as much as his slider this season. 55% of the time he's throwing his cutter, and he's throwing his slider 19.6% of the time. Hitters have been baffled on it so far. His opponent batting average on his cutter, opponents are hitting 143 against that cutter. That right there, credit to Matt Blake, credit to Carlos Rodon. In the offseason, Carlos Rodon needed an extra pitch. He worked on that cutter. In spring training, it was a bit shaky, but so far in the early part of the season, it's looked pretty good. I'm not going to lie when it comes to that. Erica, what's your thoughts on Carlos Rodon's cutter and Matt Blake and the wizardry that he does when it comes to helping pitchers unlock that extra velocity? Go ahead.
I mean, it's good to see, right? Because there's a lot of pitchers that come in here and they get their pitch mix changed up, or they focus on one pitch more than others that are their stronger suit. You know, look at guys like Sonny Gray. Maybe I don't want to say Frankie Montas because he obviously got hurt, but you know, they leave here, they fail here, then they leave, and then you see them be superstars somewhere else, and then they go out and they actually say like, no, you know, my strength is this, but they're forcing me to throw this, and it's just not working, right? So it's good to see that they're mixing in something with Rodon that seems to be working. It obviously makes him a different pitcher. It allows him to not have to be throwing 98, 98, 98, right? Because he has that pitch mix. He can kind of lean on the breaking ball a little more. His slider, I think it was a slider. Or was the cutter yesterday that it near the end of his start started to look really nice against the pitchers. Like it was hitting the batters in the beginning of the game, but then eventually I think he found it, and that's when he started striking people out, because he started striking people out later in the game. I don't think he got his first strikeout till like the 4th or 5th inning. So yeah, he's just got to keep building on that. And you know, again, like you said, the starting pitching is getting it done, and it really pisses me off that it feels like the offense isn't giving them an early lead, and they're forced to pitch even more tense. They don't have any time to take a breath and relax a little bit. You know, they have to go into every game like it's 0-0, because guess what? It is 0-0, you know, or if they give up one run, it's like, I can only give up that one run because our offense isn't doing anything. And that's what's frustrating. I know that we're 15-8, but there's a lot of things that need to be fixed, because eventually this pitching rotation is going to get burnt out. You already see it with the bullpen, and the offense is going to have to pick them up. And right now it just doesn't feel like they're going to do that, unless it's Soto or Cabrera or Verdugo. So that's where we really need to get it together offensively. It's April, and everyone's going to say we're overreacting, but I don't think it's an overreaction when this is what we've been seeing since day one. And this is what the same stuff has been complained about since day one. So, you know, it's the same thing that's going to bite us in the ass in the long run.
Erica, I want to bring something up. NFP's backstage. I'm going to bring up NFP right now. I feel so bad because I was looking on Twitter and going through Twitter, so I'm not sure how long NFP's been backstage waiting for me to bring him up. NFP, I'm going to bring you up right now, but I got Chris from Yankees Twitter. He put it out there. He said, Erica made a great point on Twitter. 15-8 in the AL East is different than 15-8 in other divisions. We need to pick it up. Erica, speak on that real quick as we switch the panel to bring NFP up. Go ahead, Erica.
I mean, just look at our division. I think we're the only division where everyone's above 500. You know what I mean? So you can be 15-8 in this division and be in 3rd place, right? Whereas if you're in the Central, I know that the Indians are or Guardians, sorry. Guardians are doing well, but you look at the rest of it, it's like you can be mediocre and you can lose those games like yesterday or the game against the Guardians, which I'm still not over, and still kind of make up for it. Where in the AL East, it's hard to make up ground because all of these teams are hot. You're constantly kind of in the mix. Even in look at last season too. What the Yankees ended in what place, and they were 82-80. Like there were 2 games over 500. I think that record would have gotten them into the Central, I believe. I'm almost certain. So yeah, I just think that it's a tougher division. You know, you got the Blue Jays, you got the Orioles who are hot and young and hungry. You got the Red Sox that look pretty decent. The Rays are always going to be there. There's no division like the AL East, and that's why the wild card always comes out of the AL East, even in previous years. So that's what I mean by that. It's just like you gotta take advantage of the wins against the guys like the A's. Even though they're still a major league team, you're projected to be this not by the baseball reference or not those projections, but you go out and get Juan Soto, and you're still having the same issues that you had last season, right? It's like nothing really actually changed other than maybe a couple more contact and small ball at the end, at the bottom of our lineup. Our bottom of our lineup is literally bailing out our top 5 guys every game, and you're not supposed to see that. It's supposed to be the other way around. So yeah, I think it's pretty straightforward. 15-8 in the East is not the same as 15-8 in the West. It's just not.
Yeah. NFE, my guy, I'm gonna throw it over to you, brother. You've been listening to the conversation. What's your thoughts? Let's get your insights before we switch gears to Volpe. Go ahead, brother.
Where should we start? The lineup, Rodon. I mean, there's a few things you all talked about. All of it. Yeah. So, look, Rodon, I've been saying it since the offseason. I had a lot of confidence that he was going to, pitch well this season. I think he was going to have a bounce back year. He looked great in yesterday's game, and that was his best performance so far as a New York Yankee. So, 7 innings pitched. I liked what I saw from him, and I think he's going to continue playing well. I think he's going to continue pitching well for this team. The rotation, again, in general, I felt really good about. Even with Cole's injury, I was like, this rotation is going to be able to hold their own. The only question mark for me was always Nestor Cortez. That was the big question mark for me. Even though he looked good in that game on Saturday against Tampa, and hopefully he continues that. As far as the lineup goes, yeah, they need to come alive. They absolutely have to come alive. I guess I'm probably I'm going to be in the minority here as far as the fans go, because I'm not going to panic just yet because it's still April. So, if by the time June comes around or the All-Star break comes around, like June, July, if this team is in a bad place, yeah, then I might start panicking a little bit and start saying some things that I don't want to say. So, but right now it's still April. It's still early in the season. Yeah. I understand Erica's point of 15-8 in the AL East. It's like, this is the AL East, right? I get that part, but I don't think anybody was really expecting this team to be having the record that they're having right now. Because as soon as Cole went down, everybody got into like a panic mode. Oh, so yeah. Nobody. I don't think anybody expected this team to be 15-8 right now. Mm-hmm. So again, I understand Erica's point. I get what you're saying. But I'm gonna, for now, I'm gonna still stay calm about it. But once June comes around, and if this team is in worse shape, then I'm gonna have some things to say. But they got some guys coming back, hopefully, and I'm sure you guys heard Vivas is going to start playing now for Scranton. He's been activated, so DJ is going to start playing his rehab game starting today. So. Slowly but surely, some of these guys are going to come back, and unfortunately, right now, injuries is kind of plaguing this team. But at the moment, once some of these guys come back, I think the Yankees will be in better shape.
Everything that you just said was valid, right? I switched my hat because Erica has her Rangers hat on. I put my Knicks hat on. Playoff basketball in the Garden. I mean, playoff just in the Garden. We gotta represent. But no, I see what you're saying, NFE, and I see what Erica is saying. Yes, nobody expect us to be 15-8, right? My opinion. Like, I didn't expect this team to be 15-8. But we're 15-8 right now. So now that we're 15-8, we need to start acting like we're 15-8. If this was supposed to be an all-in season, the players need to start carrying themselves like they expect this season to be an all-in season, right? Having the lineup, and I think Damian put it in the chat. I'm going to bring it up right now. In the last 37 innings, the Yankees have only scored 3 runs. That is pathetic. If this is an all-in season, no championship team expects.
You read that wrong.
You said in the last 30, the Yankees have scored 3 innings. That's what I said.
No, not 3 runs. Not 3 runs total. They've only scored in 3 innings.
Oh, they only scored in 3 innings, which is still bad. Which is still bad. Hooked on phonics. Thank you so much, TC. Yeah. And the last 37 innings, the Yankees have scored in just 3 of those innings. That right there is just pathetic. That can't be going on. And I don't want to beat up on Anthony Volpe. NFE, you brought it up. It's the issue with the team right now. It's not Anthony Volpe. I think Anthony Volpe has more pressure because everybody else is struggling in the lineup. But with Anthony Volpe in the leadoff spot, Anthony Volpe is now 8 for his last 37. A 216 batting average since they moved him to leadoff spot. He is now under 300, and he is falling. It is descending. He was hitting 375 in the bottom part of the lineup. On the season, he is at 286, 2 home runs, 9 RBIs. I have the stats right here when it comes to Volpe. Let me just make sure. Okay. Batting in the leadoff spot, Anthony Volpe has a 200 batting average. Batting in the 6th spot, Anthony Volpe has a 353 batting average. Batting in the 7th spot, Anthony Volpe has a 500 batting average. Erica, I'm going to throw it over to you because you and I were someone that we wanted Volpe to be in the leadoff spot, right? So now that we have a little bit of a sample size of it, I'm going to throw it over to you. Give us your take. Because I know you in future be having spirited conversations back and forth on our group chat. Go ahead.
I know, man. I feel like all the pressure's on me now because I was standing 10 toes down for my boy Volpe in the leadoff spot. I still think that he's built to be the leadoff guy, and it's tough, right? Because you knew that he wasn't going to hit 450 the rest of the season. He has to come down to earth. He's coming down a little bit too hard to earth because it looks like his approach is completely changing. Pitchers are attacking him pretty early in the account, so he's 0-2 immediately, and he's not working those 3-2 counts anymore. Neither is he working the walks. It looks like he's going back to his old swing where he's kind of uppercutting it. He's not going opposite field anymore. So yeah, there's a lot to be concerned about. I still think that he should be a leadoff. And I think there's a lot of pressure on him even now because he was one of the only bats that was producing, and now you're like, oh, now you're in the leadoff and you're not doing anything like you're supposed to be doing, XYZ. So yeah, I'm not gonna backpedal on what I think where I think he should be in the lineup. I don't
stand on business.
I think you have to keep him there and have him work through it. If he drops below under 200, then I mean, then there's obviously an issue. But he's got to work through it. If he can't make the adjustments, then you see what you got to do. But I just think for his speed and the contact that he was making in the beginning of the season, and the fact that Torres wasn't doing anything in that leadoff spot, and Torres is still not doing anything in the 6th or 7th hole. I don't know who you put in there. I don't know if you put DJ in there when he comes back. I don't necessarily think that he should be there, but maybe he has some resurgence of his 2018, 2019 seasons. So yeah, I mean, I kind of got my foot in my mouth right now because he's not doing anything to prove different. But yeah, it's just you can see that he's pressing. You can see he's kind of going back to what he was last season, which is concerning. The way that he looked in the beginning of the year, it looked like it was impossible for him to do that. It looked like that was it. Like he's leveling out his swing, and he's taking what the defense gives him, and now it looks pretty rough, but it looks rough up and down this lineup.
Yeah.
So is it just kind of a result of that? I mean, is the entire offense just pressing? I don't know. But I do think that no matter what, he should be the leadoff guy for this team. It is what it is.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you. I just want to bring up my guy Rodon Sicario. El Bori from Yankees Twitter is in the building. My guy says this team has a good mix of vets and young Padawans. This deadline can solidify a good postseason run. I'm in agreement with you right there. My guy Dr. Hitskins in the chat says, Erica, do you need a drummer? FYI, Dr. Hitskin, he drums. Just to let you know.
Drummer.
Erica is a drummer. There you go. Shout out to my guy Li Yankee King. The only troll in the Yankee universe I acknowledge is my guy Li. TC, I'm gonna throw it over to you, and I'm gonna throw it over to NFE right afterwards. Go ahead, brother. What's your thoughts on Mr. Volpe? Mr. Chicken Parmesan needs some more chicken parm.
Yeah, so early on he did well in the 6th, 7th hole, but overall, Aaron Boone mentioned that he's going to be our leadoff hitter. So we put him there early. I don't think we need to keep switching him around. I know it's early, and he's in a rough state right now, just going through a little slump. But he's our leadoff hitter, and he's going to be there. He's got the best hitter on our team, one of the best hitters in baseball, behind him. So I mean, in the 6th, 7th hole, he doesn't have that. So he's going to get pitches to hit. He just needs to make an adjustment. Pitchers make adjustment. He needs to make an adjustment. And I think he'll do it. he's our perfect leadoff hitter. I mean, yeah, people mention Verdugo or DJ. No, I don't think so. I don't agree. I mean, Volpe is your prototypical leadoff hitter. I mean, if this was Ricky Henderson, we're going to say, oh, Ricky Henderson, we need to move him down to 7th. He's a leadoff hitter. That's what Volpe is.
Speed.
He's a leadoff hitter. Speed. He puts the ball in play, gets on base, takes walk. I mean, that's the guy we need there. So I wouldn't be messing around with him. And just it's everybody's. It's like I said before, it's magnified. We're losing. Everybody's like slumping here and there. Everybody is. I mean, even Soto has his days. He's not consistently 2 for 4 every game. So it's just the way it is. They got to figure out ways to score and play small ball. Why are we getting away from what we did in Houston? What happened? We swept Houston and we played small ball. But what's going on? All of a sudden now we're going back to last year, just sitting around waiting for the 3-run home run. Like that, like you said, Trevino should have been bunting. You got 2 more hitters up, driving the run. They'll hit into a double play every time. And there's nothing. It's just stagnant. No stealing, no bunting, it's just the same old wait around for the home run. They got to change something up. Something's got to happen, because that's what happened when you get in a slump. Look at the results. You start losing. So
yeah, and that's what it is. Baseball can humble you real fast, right? And I see a lot of people joking in the chat. I want Soto to be the leadoff hitter. Go ahead, NFE.
No.
Yeah, with Volpe, I've been saying this. I feel like Volpe at some point was going to be put in that leadoff spot. It was going to happen at some point. I do feel, because I was going back and forth, I'm like, was it the right decision, or should they have just left him where he was? And I saw both sides of the argument. I try to look at it both ways, and I think they should have just left him where he was. At some point. Yes, he was going to be a leadoff guy, but I think it happened too soon. They should have just left him where he was, because he was hitting so well. I feel like since he was moved to the leadoff spot, I think he's trying too hard, So, and they are pitching a lot better to him at that leadoff spot, because opposing pitchers know he's a threat. But I think they might have moved him up too soon. They should have waited a little bit longer. And I know Gleyber Torres wasn't exactly working there, so Torres was not batting well at the leadoff spot. I mean, the other guy that I would have put there would have probably been, Verdugo, honestly, like if I had to pick. But with Volpe, I think they just moved him up too soon. They should just kept him where he was. He was playing so well. But now to what TC was saying, I think you have to keep him there now, because you don't want to keep moving him up and down, because then that's gonna drive fans nuts, right? If you keep moving him up and down. So we gotta keep the lineup consistent, which Boone has been doing for the most part. Mm-hmm. So let's not mess up. Let's not reinvent the wheel over and over again and ruin this lineup, right? So keep Volpe there now. Like if he's gonna be the leadoff guy, keep him there. Don't bother moving him.
Yeah, but, I'm in agreement with Erica and TC and you, NFE, when it comes to Volpe. I'm leaving him in the leadoff spot. I'm not moving Anthony Volpe out of that leadoff spot. One, you're going to mess with this kid's career. He had an amazing start. I mean, mess with his confidence, right? He had an amazing start to the season. Confidence was on another level. You moved into the leadoff spot. You're going to struggle in baseball. You're not going to hit close to 400 or 450 for the rest of the season. You're not Ted Williams. Anthony Volpe is not Ted Williams. Slumps are going to happen. Slumps are going to come. A lot of these outs, when Anthony Volpe first got into the leadoff spot, they were hard line drives. He wasn't striking out. It was hard line drives that he was putting into play. It was just bad luck that was happening. Now it's more, okay, he's pressing a little bit, going out of the strike zone, expanding his strike zone. That's what he needs to lay off of. Stop expanding your strike zone and trust your game. Maybe he needs to have some extra sessions with the hitting coach just to go through what you went through in spring training or at the beginning of the season. It's just going to happen. It's just baseball. It's what it is. But ultimately, even if DJ LeMahieu comes back, I don't care. DJ LeMahieu, I'm not counting on DJ LeMahieu to save this team or save this season. He's not that player anymore. He's not DJ LeMahieu from 2019 to 2020. That was 5 years ago. He is past that player. He has foot issues. He has lower body issues. He got a hip surgery. We all know once a baseball player gets hip surgery, their career starts going down the tubes. It happened to A-Rod. It happened to DJ LeMahieu. It happened to Bo Jackson, who was an athletic freak. Once your hips go in baseball, that's a wrap. You can't turn on that inside fastball. You know it's a wrap with DJ LeMahieu? When you're watching a spring training game and he pulls one pitch down the left field line, you lose your mind. That's how you know it's over for DJ LeMahieu. One spring, he had one pitch he was able to turn on the inside and pull it down the left field line. Yankee fans lost their damn mind. That's how you know it's over with DJ LeMahieu, when you're getting excited just for that. He's going to come back. He's just going to be a role player, a utility player, maybe filling that second, third, and first base. That's it. He is far removed from that MVP player that he once was. So I want to go through the lineup real quick. Before we do, I want to talk about DJ LeMahieu. I'll throw it back over to the rest of the panel to get everybody's opinion. And just so everybody know, I got a doctor's appointment at 1 o'clock, so we're going to end around like 12:15, 12:20. So I appreciate everybody that said the building. If you guys can, please smack that like button. But Erica, I'll throw it over to you. Give us your take when it comes to La Máquina, or, you know, the machine. I call him the Texas Instrument. He's like a calculator right now. He's not a machine like he once was. DJ LeMahieu. Let's get your thoughts on DJ.
DJ the calculator. Yeah, I think that there's this expectation that he's going to be the guy that he was, 2018, 2019 seasons. And I think that's far gone. But I think that he is going to be valuable for us as far as getting Rizzo's days off, as far as getting Gleyber days off, as far as getting Cabrera moved over to second base maybe for a game and and play third base. He's going to be valuable in that aspect, and I think he's going to get a lot of playing time because of that, because there is a lot of spots in our infield that need days off. Whether it's Rizzo one day, so he plays for Rizzo's role, and then the next day, Gleyber gets the day off and he's in the second base. So in that case, he's very valuable. I think that his bat can also be very valuable for the bottom of our lineup for those days. I just don't see him being that leadoff guy anymore. I know that Aaron Judge was talking about how that's who would be his 1, 2, 3 is DJ, Soto, and him. But I think that's long gone. I think you just got to shift to what DJ was originally even brought here for, was a utility guy, a super utility guy. And, hope maybe that'll help him getting, extra days of rest will allow him to, I don't know, heal better from the game before, whether it's the hip or the toe or whatnot. But I don't see him being what he was. Right now, that contract's looking real questionable, but hopefully he can come in and just add value in that way, where you just get those guys days off, because they definitely need it. They're all pressing, they're all in their heads, aside from Cabrera, and a day off can really reset somebody in this game where you're playing 162 games, you're playing 10 games in a row. It's very valuable to have that. And right now with our bench, we don't necessarily have that. There's no trust in Grisham. We lose every game that he plays in. You got Jones, who's really, he's just there because he's there. They're not even really utilizing him. They used him at what felt like a punt game the other day where that lineup was atrocious. But yeah, you put DJ in there and it's not like, oh, it's a punt lineup. It's just like, all right, this is DJ. Whereas you put Jahmai Jones in, and you're like, oh shit, like they're giving this game away. So yeah, we can only hope that that's what DJ comes back as. And honestly, I'm really looking forward to it, just so that these guys could get days off.
Yeah. Guys, if you can, we got over 125 people in the building rocking with us right now. If you're watching us on YouTube, please smack the like button and hit that subscribe button. TC, I'm going to throw it over to you, and then I'm going to throw it over to my guy, NFE, right afterwards. Give us your thoughts when it comes to La Máquina.
Yeah, DJ, even at, say 75, 80% of DJ, he's still a great asset to have on our bench, to platoon second, third, first base. I'd much rather have him over, Jahmai Jones or whoever else that they, want to shuttle up here from AAA. He's a veteran bat. He can plug in the lineup. He gives, he lengthens the lineup. If you, even if you keep him in there with, I would see them platooning him and Gleyber for right off the bat, because Gleyber needs some time to, get his head right. So You know, slotting him in 6th, 7th in the lineup. I'm not putting him leadoff. There's no way. And he's still valuable. He still can hit. You know, he's not the machina. He's more like a, you know, a BlackBerry, you know, olden phones, you know, rather than an iPhone. You know, he's kind of not up to par yet, but you know, he'll get back into, you know, game time, and I think he'll be okay. He's not an everyday player anymore. That's okay. And you know, our bench is really weak. Erica brought it up. I mean, we have some. It's really bad because it does. It looks like a punt lineup when you have Johnny Jones, Grisham, and you know, whoever else. It just, yeah. So you know, and also Rizzle needs some time off, and DJ, you know, can give him a rest here and there. So with him, and then, you know, good news on Vivas. I think Vivas would be the next one to come up as well too, and to give us a little spark, as long as Birdie's been down. But when DJ comes back, you got Birdie. I mean, the bench looks a little bit better. So I'm looking forward to DJ coming back and helping out this lineup at least a little bit.
Yeah. Li, just want to say, nobody here on the panel mentioned Austin Wells. So, you know, you're having a conversation with yourself because we're not talking about Austin Wells. Go ahead, NFE.
Well, I was also going to mention we're not trading DJ for Robbie Ray. I just wanted to throw that out there too. But anyway, I digress. So as far as DJ goes, look, I'm not expecting him to be the player that he was. Okay, we can accept that. I've already accepted that. But he is a missing piece. I mean, it's clear he could contribute, right? He'll be able to contribute, especially on the field. I mean, his defense is missing. And I think he's necessary. I still think he's necessary on this team. And you know, he could fill in for Torres. You know, Torres needs a day off desperately. He could fill in for Anthony Rizzo. And you know, like I think it was Erica that said it. You can move Oswaldo Cabrera to second base and put DJ there. So, you know, he'll be a contributor. He's just not going to be the contributor that he once was. So he'll come through when it matters. I mean, I still think DJ can contribute to this team. You know, he could easily still be like a 260, 270 hitter, but he's just not going to be that guy that we once had. You know, but he does need to come off the bench. I don't think he's like an everyday player. But I wish he was not hurt. I mean, again, he could have filled in for guys like you know, for Gleyber Torres, Rizzo, because you know, these guys definitely need some rest, and that's the problem. That's the reason why these guys are playing every day, is because you know, some of our guys are hurt, and you know, once these guys come back, hopefully, there's, you know, some of these players can start breathing again. But that's my take on DJ. I like DJ LeMahieu. Again, I know he's on the older side, and you know, he doesn't run the bases well. Fine. I mean, he's slowed down, but you know, I think he can contribute in some ways with this team still.
Yeah, you know, he carried the bags for Aaron Judge going to the plane. I'm gonna bring up the lineup real quick. TC, we're gonna go through the lineup, and there's a player in the lineup that I want us to have the conversation real quick before we get into the pitching side of things. But go ahead, TC, read off the lineup, my guy.
All right. So yesterday, Anthony Volpe led off 1 for 4, 2 strikeouts at 286. Juan Soto, rough game, 0 for 4, 2 strikeouts, still batting 322. Aaron Judge, you know, we've talked about it, just struggling. 2 strikeouts, 0 for 4, 174 batting average. It's just horrible. We got Big G, Slim G, 1 for 3. He's hanging in there. He had a strikeout, 232. That's about where we see him finishing. Anthony Rizzo, 0 for 3. He's struggling as well. 1 strikeout, 227. Gleyber Torres, 0 for 3. 2 strikeouts. Interstate average, 193. He's got to pick it up. Like we said, he needs a day off. We got Verdugo. It was 0 for 1 with 2 walks. Got on base a lot. Struck out. And struck out once. He has a 256 average. We got Jose Trevino, who's pleasantly surprising us with some hits lately, and he's 1 for 3, batting 250. And Oswaldo, 0 for 3, a rare 0 for 3 for him. He's under 300 at 290.
Now, I bring up the lineup, and the player that I want us to talk about for a little bit, Gleyber Torres, right? I see Li Yankee King in the comment section down below fighting for his man crush, Gleyber Torres. But when it comes to Gleyber Torres, when the Yankees traded for Gleyber Torres. Gleyber Torres was the number one prospect in all of Major League Baseball, right? When we got Gleyber Torres, it elevated our minor league system, which for years was horrible. The Yankees minor league system was horrible. We had Gary Sanchez come up, which was a nice bright side. Aaron Judge came up as well, Luis Severino. But when Gleyber Torres came, that's when the Yankees started focusing on their minor league system. And Gleyber Torres, his rookie season was amazing. I know he had a season where he hit 30-plus home runs, 38 home runs. We all thought he was going to be a superstar, but then he just fell off the cliff. They moved him to shortstop. Mentally, I'm not sure if he ever bounced back from being exposed of not being a good defender, not being a hustle player. But Gleyber Torres, how long are we going to deal with Gleyber Torres? How long is enough? Because if he doesn't turn things around, I know we all talked about, in the offseason, just swap qualifying offer on him. Some team is going to sign him. You could get draft picks. You can get whatever back. With the way he's playing right now, one, I don't think the Yankees will ever give him a qualifying offer because he'll take it. $18 million. Who would say no to $18 million? And two, I don't think there's a team out there, if he had a qualifying offer attached to him, would want to lose a first-round pick to sign Gleyber Torres. So I ask you folks, how long is enough? Erica, I'll start with you and then make your way down to NFE, and TC. Go ahead, E.
Gleyber Torres right now, you'd be lucky if you get a box of Cracker Jacks for him. that's how bad the optics of his play is. I know that you said that he's the hottest hitter out of our four of our five top of the lineup, whatever. But yeah, I've said it before. I think he's benefiting from all the injuries. If it wasn't for that, he'd definitely be getting a little bit more time on the bench. He needs the rest days. We've seen it before. He can hit. I liked Gleyber Torres. I was never in love with Gleyber Torres outside of that 2019 season. His swing always looked like there was no power behind it. He benefits a lot from the short porch and right when he goes opposite field. So yeah, when do we stop this? I guess you just wait till DJ comes back and see what happens. My buddy texted me yesterday. He's like, I don't know why we never just traded him for Pablo Lopez like we were supposed to. But now that the Yankees have that depth in the minor leagues, then it's okay to lose him. I still think that he's a valuable piece for us to succeed this season, but I'm not gonna hate to see him go. I'm sorry. He wears it on his sleeve, his emotions on his sleeve. You can tell that everything's getting to him, whether it's in the post-game interviews, whether it's on the field. Is it the injury to his hand? I know that's been a big topic of discussion, where he got hit in that game against the Astros, and he just hasn't, obviously on defense he can't squeeze the glove, and on offense he's just not hitting, because in spring training he looked phenomenal. What is it? I just don't know what it is. I hope that he can turn it around for the sake of this team and for the sake of what the end goal is in a World Series. But I'm okay with him not coming back next season, especially with everything that we have coming up in the farm league, in the farm system. So yeah, I just feel like we're beating a dead horse when it comes to Gleyber.
Yeah.
And it sucks because the team as a whole offensively just doesn't look good. I call Gleyber quick 0-2 count Torres, because even pitchers know it, man. They're attacking him right away. He's down 0-2 in the count immediately. He had a really good at bat yesterday. I think he had a 10-pitch at bat yesterday, but then he still strikes out on a meatball in the middle of the plate. He's obviously pressing. So yeah, all we can do is, he's not going anywhere. We're not going to trade him. There's really no value in, really, we shouldn't trade him unless someone's willing to give up a top arm for him. I think that you just have to stick through this really tough time and hope that he turns it around, and to hope he can give you a 260, 20 home runs. We'll see. Again, it's 23 games. I know I've been overreacting about everything else with Judge and whatnot, but there's still a lot of time where they can turn this around. He can have 3 good games in a row, and we can be like, yeah, this is why, you got to hold on to hope. But at the end of the season, I'm really okay with Torres leaving. We let Matsui walk after 2009. It's
God.
he's not Matsui, so whatever.
Yeah, no, I'm in agreement with Erica. Folks in the chat, that was a top 10 call from Erica right there. My guy Crackle Nuts, shout out to Crackle Nuts in the building. I linked up with Crackle Nuts Saturday at the Yankee game. Crackle Nuts, my guy, I love you. I love you for hold on 1 second. Sorry about that. I love you, my guy. Yo, let's link up for other Yankee games and some Knicks watch alongs. Hit me up, Crackle Nuts. But NFE, I'll throw it over to you. Give us your take when it comes to Sir Gleyber Torres. Shout out to my guy Razil the Great. Let's go Knicks. Go ahead.
Yeah, I've been saying Gleyber Torres is not going to be back after this year. Whether he ends up playing good or ends up playing bad, I think his time with the Yankees is going to be over after this season. I mean, you know, some folks are saying that he should be benched, which I think he should be, but Boone's not going to bench him. Maybe he makes that decision after the All-Star break, right? I'm not sure. I'm just guessing at this point. But you could trade him, but he has no value. You know, when they should have just traded him when they had the opportunity. You know, if they were looking at, obviously the Yankees were looking to trade him, they should have just traded him. You know, they had ample opportunity, but they did not. They didn't seize that moment. So, you know, now they're stuck with him. I think they're just gonna let him play out his final year on his contract, and then he's just gonna go ahead and test free agency. Some team will sign him. I don't know what team is going to sign him, but some team will sign him. Whether or not he gets the contract that he's looking for, we'll see. But you know, I think his time with the Yankees is over. I think he knows it, and I think it's getting to him. So, you know, the thing is, if this is an all-in year, and if the Yankees are trying to win a World Series and he's still slumping, you can't keep playing him. You gotta put somebody else in there. So, maybe it is Vivas, maybe it is DJ. I don't know, but Gleyber, it's just not working out for him. You know, it's just not.
I was gonna say, you know what sucks? This would have been the perfect opportunity for Peraza to get an opportunity to play second base. But with Peraza's shoulder injury, we don't even know when Peraza's gonna come back. We haven't even heard. When's the last time anybody heard an update on Oswald Peraza? Anyone? Any update on Peraza? Go ahead, NFE. Keep going. My fault.
No, you're good. I feel like I'm trying to remember. I feel like I heard something about Peraza a few days ago, but I'm not 100%. But yeah, with Gleyber though, I think he's his time is over. It's done. He's done with the Yankees. They're not going to sign him back. But you can tell though, like I said, he's just not mentally present. His mind is elsewhere. It seems like he's far gone right now. But yeah, but you know, you don't want to play him, but who do you put in his place right now? There's nobody there right now. You know, you could put Jahmai Jones, but what's he going to do? So maybe once Vivas gets some playing time in the minors, maybe you call him up, you know?
Brian Hoke put out an update a couple of days ago. This is what Brian Hoke said when it comes to Peraza. He is still a couple of weeks away from playing in minor league games. This is according to Aaron Boone. Peraza has been hitting and throwing at the Yankees complex in Tampa, but he's still a couple of weeks away from playing in any minor league game. So even if he comes back in a couple of weeks, that's the first week of May, middle week of May. He will have to wait by like 2-3 weeks to get back into the groove of things. So that's June. So if anything, at the earliest, if there's any replacement for Torres, you gotta wait to at least bare minimum the beginning of June, middle of June. I don't think that's gonna solve it for a lot of Yankee fans. I'm gonna throw it over to TC real quick, and then we're gonna get ready to wrap things up. Go ahead, TC.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's too bad for Gleyber because. I'm really, I was in his corner. I was like pushing for him because he's an important piece to this team for a championship run. Because, having a guy like that batting 6th, 7th in this lineup that could possible 25 to 30 home runs, to, 270 average. I mean, he's still a good hitter. He's so inconsistent. That's the thing with him. He just loses it for games at a time and then goes on a tear. If he would just be more consistent and make the adjustments in game, go to the right field. he looks overmatched. He's swinging, through, with his heels, like just like he's Reggie Jackson, on one knee. Sometimes it's very frustrating. But what frustrates me more is his defense. The defense is really lacking, and he's losing games for us. And that's the thing that gets you benched. Guys are in slumps. Oh, well. And, when DJ comes back, maybe he does slot in there for his defense, and it's too bad. It's too bad because, and even if Peraza was here, we know how Boone treats Peraza. He wouldn't play. He'd just re-ride the bench. I don't get it. I just don't get it. They love Gleyber so much, and he's benefiting from all these injuries. He's just like, oh yeah, I got scot-free. Birdie's down, and Vivas is not here, and Peraza's down, and there's just nobody to replace him. And he's just going through the motions, not changing his attitude, lackadaisical on the base paths. His defense. It's just unfortunate because I really wish he would clean up his act, get it together, because we need him for a championship run. We do.
And I don't think anyone's going to disagree. I'm not going to disagree with you, because if we're going to go on a championship run, we can't just rely on Juan Soto. We can't just rely on even Aaron Judge when he turned things around. I do believe that Judge will turn things around. You need every person on the roster, every member of this 26-man roster, of the 40-man roster, to help you win a championship, because you got guys shuttling back and forth when it comes to the AAA, to the major leagues, especially the relievers nowadays. But folks, we got to cut it off right here. We got 140 people in the building rocking with us right now. If you guys can, smack that like button. If you're on YouTube, let's get the likes to about like 60 likes on the stream. If you can, please smack the like button. Just smack it, and hit the subscribe button. I'm going to go around real quick, right? I'm just TC, Erica, and then NFE real quick. Yankees, A's today. We got to turn things around. I know they got a starting pitcher. They got a 1.08 ERA, but with the New York Yankees, they're the Oakland Athletics. We have to turn things around. TC, what's the score in your head? Are we winning or are we losing? And then throw it over to Erica and then NFE.
I'm gonna say we got to jump on them early. We got to pour it on today. We got to score 7-8 runs. I mean, this is ridiculous. I'm gonna say today they break out 7-3.
Copy. Erica, do you got hope? Are you standing on business? Is Anthony Volpe going 4 for 4, Erica?
Nope. I can't see the Yankees winning today, honestly. Not with that pitcher on the mound. Not with that A's bullpen. Not with the way the offense looks right now. I think the highlight of the game will be Juan Soto, as it has been. Until the Yankees get back to listen, I know that we loved the small ball in the beginning, and the small ball is great, but we have no power. There's no power coming out of the middle of our lineup. There's no power coming out of any of our anybody in our lineup, really. So give me a couple. Just show me 2 home runs today and give me some life. But I really think that the Yankees are going to lose 3-1. I just have this feeling.
NFP, I'm gonna throw it over to you. Are the Yankees gonna get shut out for 6-7 innings? NFP, is it gonna be another donut for the Bronx Bombers?
Damn, now I want a donut. Thanks, dude.
You're welcome. You got it, bro.
But no, you know what? Just based on, I think they'll win today. I think they'll bounce back. But I think I'm on the opposite. I think it'll be 3-1, just based on how the bats have been performing.
Yeah. Man, it's tough. I want them to win because I'm a Yankee fan. I want them to win, but I'm with Erica. I think that starting pitcher is going to shut down this offense again. We may score a couple of runs, and that may be after that pitcher is out of the game when the Oakland Athletics bullpen gets into it. Hopefully, the Yankees can win the game. But if I had to, I think Oakland's going to win again, 2-0. I think the Yankees are going to throw up a donut up there. Hopefully not. If not 2-0, at least 2-1. Juan Soto's going to get a couple of hits. Hopefully, Anthony Volpe get a couple of hits as well. But I don't have no faith in this Yankees lineup. I'm saying that so hopefully they can hear me, and it's reverse day for them. It's reverse psychology. You guys got to understand. Exactly. You guys got to understand. But no, appreciate you guys. Shout out to my co-host, my guy TC Stills, my friend Erica from Yankees Twitter, and of course my guy NFE from the Strike Zone. Make sure you guys go and follow everybody on the panel. Follow TC, follow Erica, follow my guy NFE. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat. I appreciate all of you. But until next time, make sure you drink some water, say something positive about yourself, and until next time, it's deuces.